And then there was 3. As in 3 days until Alabama takes on Missouri this Saturday. Inside Columbia, Missouri, 6 p.m. Central Time, ESPN will have the kickoff, but you are locked and loaded, spending your Wednesday hump day on what is the hottest show on the streets, the best ticket, the number 1 ticket in terms of Alabama football news, notes, information, and commentary. Welcome inside, in my own words, with yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Appreciating everybody tuning in tonight to the show, network, channel, and brand to be a part of the conversation as we're streaming this to you on YouTube. Speaking of the channel, go ahead right now, give a thumbs up, give a like on the show, hit that subscribe button, turn on all of those notifications so that way you can have the best in news, notes, alerts on your Crimson Tide as we do this, bringing this to you from Tuscaloosa, but not just streaming this on YouTube. We're also hitting you on Facebook, to all my Facebook people out there, and Twitter as well. So we're coming to you from YouTube, coming to you from Facebook, coming to you from Twitter, hitting you from all angles, giving you the fans what you want, and that is Alabama football nonstop. And I'm always happy to be joined by the man, myth, the legend, the maestro in the production studio, Mr. John Ivory, doing his thing. We got a lot to get into. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, as we are Trent Richardson, Calvin Ridley, Van Tiffin, days away from Alabama football, 3 days until the Crimson Tide takes on those Missouri Tigers. I'm excited. You guys out there excited. And we want you to be a part of tonight's conversation. And you can do this by calling 205-448-1358. But I'm going to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Definitely want to hear from you. But before we jump into topic number 1 of the conversation, gotta pay respect and homage to the late, great Gale Sayers, tremendous running back for the Chicago Bears, Pro Football Hall of Famer, passed away today at the age of 77, a remarkable athlete, a remarkable man, a remarkable person in his community. Our hearts here at TDA go out to the Sayers family, the Chicago Bears organization. The NFL lost a legend, lost a pioneer in one Gale Sayers, passed away today at 77 years of age. But as we jump into now, topic number 1 here of the conversation to start tonight's show on In My Own Words, people, the inside linebacker position, right? There have been a lot of great inside linebacker tandems in the history of Crimson Tide football, pre-Saban and during the Saban era as we're in right now. And just a couple of these that come to mind, a couple of really good inside linebacker tandems, middle linebacker, weak side linebacker tandems that just come to mind here. 2005 for me, DeMeco Ryans and Freddie Roach. That was nice right there. DeMeco Ryans and Freddie Roach under the leadership of Mike Shula at head coach. That was fun to watch right there. 2009, the first year of the Saban, with the first championship year of the Saban era, the Crimson Tide had Rolando McClain and Dante Hightower. That was fun. 2015, you had Reggie Ragland, Reuben Foster. That was intense and fun. 2016, you had Reuben Foster, Rashawn Evans, Sean Dion Hamilton, that kind of mixture right there. Pretty great tandem. And then 2017, it was the group of Rashawn Evans with Mac Wilson and Dylan Moses thrown in there. So we have seen some great pairings of inside linebackers. We've seen some great pairings of weak side, middle linebacker tandems. We've seen great 1-2 punches over the years at that position. So it's more than just at the running back position or at the wide receiver position. We have seen this on defense also. But the question is, this season, we got the Louisiana boys. We got the Baton Rouge kids. Alabama's got Dylan Moses and Christian Harris. At the end of the day, with this season right here, how good together can these two be? Where can these two rank on the all-time list in terms of middle linebacker, weak side backer, 2 inside backers. Where will the tandem of Dylan Moses, Christian Harris rank in the minds of the Alabama program and in your mind as a Crimson Tide fan when you look at this season? Because these two together, this is going to be very fun to watch both of these two crackheads. I mean, both of these two grew up in Baton Rouge. They ran the streets together. They played football together. They ran track together. They were in school together. They attended University Lab School, which was the high school they went to together. I mean, Christian Harris talked about, I've been running with Moses since I was 6 years old. Like, we ran together since I was a kid. He was always a big brother to me. Dylan Moses talked about how excited he is to share this defense, the middle of this defense, with Christian Harris. So both guys really excited, really juiced, really pumped up, really amped up to run the middle of this unit together at the linebacker position. Now, starting things off with Dylan Moses, this is a major year for him. The captain is back on defense for the Crimson Tide. Last year was supposed to have been his season. It didn't happen because of a knee injury he sustained in August camp. He's back. He's healthy. Nick Saban happy to have him back. Pete Golding happy to have him back. The inside linebacker room happy to have him back. He's excited to be back. He talked about, I'm ready to strike fear into the hearts of the opponents. I'm ready to get the culture of this Alabama team back where it needs to be at, and that's everybody else fearing this team, respecting this team, and this team doing what it's got to do to win national championships and show it's still the biggest, baddest team in the land. Prior to Moses' injury, in 2016, he led the team in tackles with 86, had 10 tackles for loss, had 3.5 sacks. But the captain of this unit is back. So he's back, man. But his Robin, really capable Robin, and Christian Harris. And the young gun is ready to be a leader on this defense. Last season, of course, we all saw he grew game by game by game, week by week by week. I mean, Christian Harris got better and better and better. And he ended last season 63 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss. Had a couple of had some big plays in there, some pass breakups, some forced fumbles, some fumble recoveries. Christian Harris made some big plays. And he made big plays all throughout the year. He's back now. He's gotten bigger now as far as the muscle mass. He looks swole in terms of the weight training program, but he's dropped some pounds. He's gone from 244 to 232 pounds, a drop there of 12 pounds. So he's faster, he's stronger, he is ready to fly around the field and get some things done. And I know people kind of compare Dylan and Christian to Reggie and Ruben from 2015. But the difference here, I give Christian Harris a bit more of a jump than Ruben. And no offense to Ruben. Ruben was a killer. Ruben was an animal. Ruben was a criminal on the field. Ruben was a flat-out dog. For real. But the difference here is Reggie kind of had to guide Ruben a little bit. I don't know how many people got that. Reggie kind of had to say, okay, Ruben, go here. Not here, Ruben, go here. Okay, check here, Ruben. Okay, fly there, Ruben. Reggie had to kind of guide Ruben because Ruben was a bit of a loose cannon. Christian Harris is not a loose cannon. He is smart. He is cerebral. He is instinctive. So there's not going to be a whole lot that Dylan has to do to get Christian's attention. I mean, he doesn't have to yell at Christian, bark at Christian. He might not have to say much to Christian Harris. All he might have to do is give a slight nod, and even at that, give a slight nod to Harris, and Harris is going to be like, all right, bro, I got you. And Christian Harris is going to fly through the offensive line, deck the running back in the backfield, or fly through the offensive line, drop a quarterback for a sack, or fly through the offensive line and just create some type of dysfunction, some type of havoc, some type of negative play. But along with that, Harris, with his ability coming from a defensive back's background, he also played wide receiver as well in high school. He's going to have that comfortability to drop back in coverage, read the eyes of the quarterback, and create some interceptions, if you will. Now, the big thing that Coach Saban has been proud about is with the return of Moses, he's talked about Christian Harris, calm, confident, comfortable, just excited that he does not have to make the calls this year. Now, if there comes a moment where Harris has to reiterate some calls, he's got the experience from last year to lean on and be able to do that. But with Moses back, Christian Harris will not have to make calls on the field. He can sink back into his role of seek the ball, attack the ball, right? Read the eyes of the quarterback, hit your gap, fly in there, wrap up, break down, make tackles, make hits, make big-time plays from the other inside linebacker position, the weak side backer spot. So as good as DeMeco Ryans and Freddie Roach were in 2005, and they were good, as dynamic as Rolando McClain and Donta Hightower were in 2009, as great as Reggie Ragland and Reuben Foster were in 2015, as good as Reuben Foster with Rashaan Evans and Sean Dion Hamilton were in 2016, and in 2017, Rashaan Evans with Mack Wilson and Dylan Moses in there, as good as these previous tandems at inside linebacker were for the Crimson Tide, when you look at Dylan Moses and Christian Harris, how good can the two Baton Rouge natives be? How dynamic can they be? Where would they rank? Where do you see them potentially ranking upon the end of this season in terms of the other tandems that have played in Alabama football? Because these two, they're ready to do it. They are ready to do it. They are ready to create fire, and what for? Because, both of these two have talked about it. Going 11-2, that's not us. Going 11-2, that's not Alabama football. Going 11-2, that's not the moniker of the Crimson Tide. Our moniker, going undefeated. Our moniker, creating fear in the heart of opponents and having them respect us, knowing that we're the real deal. Our moniker, winning national championships and providing to you, the fans, a program, a team that you can be more than proud of. You got Dylan Moses speaking it as Batman, and you got young Robin in the clutch, in the driver's seat, in the cut, in Christian Harris speaking the exact same tune. So you got both guys at both inside linebacker positions sharing the same mindset, sharing the same identity, sharing the same physicality, sharing the same goal here in wanting to win the national championship, but in also wanting to get this Alabama defense back to where we are accustomed to seeing it be, which is be dominant, be disciplined, be sound, be physical, be tough, fly around the field, make plays, not allow anybody else to outwork you, not allow anybody else to out-effort you, not allow anybody else to show that they got more of a commitment to what they do than what you do at the University of Alabama. So I'm excited. We've seen some great duos. We have seen some great tandems. We have seen some great dynamics at the inside linebacker position, but I feel like Dylan Moses and Christian Harris are about to add another element. They're about to add another building block. They're about to add another glorious chapter in the book of inside linebacker play at the University of Alabama, primarily in the Nick Saban era. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be outstanding. Looking forward to seeing what Moses does against Missouri, being fully healthy, maneuvering on that knee, and how Christian Harris looks to attack this no-huddle offense of the Tigers. But we take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. Just getting you started here on a hump day on a Wednesday. When we get back, we go to your phone calls, your thoughts, your tweets, your text, your super chats. And let's have a conversation, and we get it popping after this.
Every skin deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
We are back rolling here, folks, from the break on the hottest show on the streets, the number one forum for Crimson Tide football news on a Wednesday, hump day, in my own words, with yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Very happy to have each and every one of you tuning into the network channel brand on today. And before we get to the phone lines, because we want to hear from you, the Crimson Tide faithful, got a huge announcement. We here at TDA, we are proud, grateful, honored, blessed to have Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes as a full-time sponsor for Touchdown Alabama Magazine. In my own words, Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes has come on full-time sponsor, being a part of the TDA family, and it's thanks to you, the Alabama football fans, making Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes feel at home, feel special, feel a part of our family here. So we're grateful, we're thankful, we're excited to have Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes a part of the TDA family. Man, I got to pick up a pound cake in a couple of hours, man. I got to pick one of those up, man, because those things are finger licking good there. But grateful to have Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes with us, part of the TDA family. But we're on You Now, Tide Nation, 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. And we got Senator Hines starting us off here on a Wednesday. My brother Senator, what's popping with you?
Man, you already know what's popping. You said it already. We got three. I said tres, however you say it in Spanish. Uno, dos, tres days until we go and knock up on that doggone Missouri kitty cats, whatever they want to call themselves this weekend. I'm just glad to be playing some football this weekend, watching this football, man, this Alabama football. And, man, I'm excited, man. You came on the show with some energy. You and John, man. I'm telling you, John, need to go ahead and send me my beats, man, so I can get this workout, you know, get my blood flowing when I'm working out, man. So, but I'm just excited, Steven. I'm excited about this game, man. I just came on to make some predictions today, man. I gotta keep moving. I'm predicting us to put up at least 42. I'm thinking 38-42. Mac Jones gonna have a balanced day. I think Sarkisian is going to try to get him to get at least, 20 to 25 pass attempts. And we want to try to run, 15 to 25 rushing plays, early in the game to open it up in the second half. And on the defensive side, man, I'm looking for our front seven to just shock the world, man, to open the eyes of the whole SEC, the SEC conference, man. It's like, I think people are really sleeping on the amount of talent we bringing back this year on the defensive front. And I'm just ready to prove everybody wrong, man. I got Alabama 42-13 this weekend. How you feeling about our chances? What you think we're going to be working with this weekend?
Senator, you got 42-13 in favor of the Tide here. So you got Alabama covering that 27-point spread. You got Alabama covering that point spread there of 27 that Vegas puts out there. I really like what Alabama's bringing into this football game, and I agree with you. I think Sark will start off trying to get Mac into the flow of things with some play action passes. May take some deep shots downfield, get him into the game, but I like this offensive line. I think the group up front with Leatherwood, Brown, Dickerson, Ekiyor, and Evan Neal, they're going to be blasting some holes for Najee Harris and the rest of the gang to get up and down the field. Defensively, like you mentioned, I want to see how Dylan moves on that knee. I want to see how Christian Harris does. Most importantly, I want to see how DJ Dale does in this game. From that nose tackle position, can he blow up Missouri's offensive line and really create some havoc from the word go? This is year 2 for DJ Dale, and I talked about it. Defensive linemen that hail from the Birmingham area that come to the University of Alabama, in year 2's the biggest year for them. So I want to see how DJ Dale goes about disrupting the timing of Missouri's offense from his defensive tackle position from the word go. I got Alabama in this game. Give me 48-10.
Okay. I was saying, and I feel like we can just. I feel like it's going to be one of those momentum games where if we get started early in our rushing attack and getting pressure on them early, and our special teams is clicking, just being proficient, I feel like it can even pull away, and we have another USC game like when Jalen Hurts came in and we ran off with that game in the second half. So I feel like we're gonna come out strong this year, man. But shout out to everybody in the super chats, man, in the live chat. Waylon, Kevin, Ronnie, all my Blue Ridge gang guys, man, let's keep it turned up. I love this show, Steven. Thanks for having me on. And let's get this W this weekend. Roll Tide, Alabama Nation. I'm signing off, man. Y'all be blessed.
Appreciate the love there coming from Senator, starting this off on a Wednesday with a great call here. We got some super chats to shout out right now. So let's see here. Super chats we shouting out right now. How about Kevin Compton doing his thing early on? Kevin Compton, part of that Blue Wrench gang, throwing in that $4.99 via the super chats. Appreciate Kevin Compton. Marcus Davis, not to be outdone, coming right behind him with a $4.99 of his own. Appreciate the love there from Marcus Davis. And Jimmy Clay dropping in that smooth $1.99 in the super chat. So appreciate Jimmy Clay. And Willie351 going big ball in the day, $27.99 coming from Willie351. Appreciate the love from him. So Kevin Compton, Marcus Davis, Jimmy Clay, and Willie351 doing their thing there in the super chats. Appreciate the love shown by you guys. As always, 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be heard. Want to hear from you. We are 3 days from Alabama, Missouri, so definitely want your voice to be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. But as you're getting your thoughts together here, cool topic here on Mac Jones. Mac Jones was named the starting quarterback for the Tide on Monday, according to the depth chart that was released there by Coach Saban. And one of the cool things that happened on Tuesday, he was one of 2 players that took part in interviews. It was him. It was he along with LeBron Ray, if I'm not mistaken. It was LeBron Ray and Mac Jones. And so Mac, literally off the top of his head, there was no teleprompter. There was no piece of paper in front of him. There was nothing he had to read. Like off the top of his head, Mac Jones rattles off all of the marquee defensive leaders and all of the contributing guys on Missouri's defense. Rattled all of these guys off the top of his head. He even sat there and named players that changed their jersey number. So he named players that changed their jersey number. He named a bunch of marquee starters and contributors for Missouri off the top of his head. You can just tell Mac's been watching tape. Mac's been watching a lot of tape. But before we continue this, we take another call here in the queue, and it's none other than the VIP, the president of the TDA fan club, Waylon. Waylon, what's going on, brother?
Well, I was going to wait to the second segment, but I guess nobody wants to call in here. We got to get these phone lines popping. Like I always say, it's Wednesday. We're on TDA. No other place I'd rather be is Wednesday on TDA. What's going on, Steven?
Doing good, my man. 3 days until Alabama, Missouri. We got we got Trent Richardson, Calvin Ridley, and the man of all time, Van Tiffin. Days away here from Alabama, Missouri. Coach Saban's got the game plan ready to go. Pete Golding defensively has got his game plan ready to go. I'm looking forward to seeing the duo of Dylan Moses and Christian Harris. Just a lot to be excited about right now as, the SEC football season 3 days away.
Yeah, it's 3 days away. It's just it'll be here before you know it. 6 o'clock will be here, and everybody have the TVs on. With their drinks and food and having a good time. That's where we're supposed to be there. But we, you and I discussed a few months back. I'll make it as quick as I can. A lot of people here show a lot of love in the chat to me with these silly poems I make up. Sometimes I call them silly. I don't know. I appreciate all the love and from all the cities, towns, states, and countries, everybody that says something. So we're gonna I've got a couple of Alabama jackets, all the national championships on it. I sent Stephen a picture there, and we're going to give that away to somebody in the chat. I'm going to let Stephen decide that once I get it to him. He'll make the decision on what question he wants to answer. He'll let you know what day he's going to do it. And I got two of them. They're pretty hard to get now. I got them hung up in my Alabama room there. So you can either wear it, hang it up, or give it for a gift, or, just look at all them championships on it. They sure look pretty, Stephen.
You know what, Wagon? Okay. All right, so I will come up with the day we're going to do this. We're going to have the trivia question ready, and one of these fans, one of these lucky listeners in the chat is going to walk away with some of them jackets, one of those jackets.
That's right. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to give back to the family here in the chat, and also the TDA for letting me come on here and rattle my gums. So I hope everybody enjoys this jacket. We'll try to get it to Stephen quick as we can. This postal service thing is slowing some stuff down, but we'll get it down there. I'll get with him, get an address, and we'll get it on the way there, and he'll announce when he's going to do it and blow this place up at night and get in there and win that pretty jacket. Man, it sure looks good. You might even let your wife wear it. You don't never know. But anyway, we want to remember the great Gale Sayers and Breonna Taylor, also Ruth Bader Ginsburg, all these people, made some marks on this country that will never be forgotten, and we need to remember these people, and we need to wake up. That's what we need to do, wake up. That's what I want people to put in the chat. Wake up. So much hate and poverty. Wake up. That's what we got to do. So we'll let Stephen decide that when he's going to do it, and I'm going to get out of here. Y'all be safe. I'll be back on Friday, day before ball game. Wake up, everybody. We got to make our voices. We got to make them listen to us. Thank you, Stephen. We'll catch y'all Friday. Y'all be safe. Bye-bye, everybody.
Appreciate the love there coming from Wayne and always giving us a quality call there. So I'm thinking between either Friday or Monday of next week for that jacket idea. So between Friday or Monday of next week, I'm going to put a pin in there as I continue to think about that. But another super chat here to shout out. We got the man, Senator Hines, dropping in that $3 for 3 days. $3 for 3 days until Alabama takes on Missouri. I will put together which day. Will it be Friday of this week, or will it be Monday of next week that I unveil a trivia question for one of you lucky listeners to win that jacket there, courtesy of our own Waylon Colburn, giving back here to the family. But we take our break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. Just getting started. When we get back, we got a fun game set up for you featuring former Alabama wide receiver Matt Caddell, and we get to the game after this.
If you want delicious home-style cooking, sushi, and hibachi, check out Otoro Hibachi in the University Mall in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. At home and you can't get away from the TV because the Crimson Tide is about to score? Don't worry, delivery is also available through Waitr and Crimson2go. That's Otoro Hibachi in the University Mall in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And make sure you let them know the good folks at Touchdown Alabama sent you. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month, or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
3 days until football. Woo! 3 days until SEC football. Crimson Tide taking on those Missouri Tigers this Saturday in Columbia, Missouri. ESPN will have the game 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. But until then, you are locked on to the hottest show on the streets, the #1 forum for Crimson Tide football news. That being In My Own Words with yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. But right now, we make our way over to the In My Own Words hotline where we get this fun game started with my man, Matt Caddell, former Alabama receiver, played from 2003 to 2007. He joins us as often as he can on Wednesdays. Matt, what's going on? Money Matt, how you feeling?
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad it's game week. We finally made it. Now it's September 26th. Now the big boys really get to play football this year.
Big boys about to get down on the field and get some work done, Matt. So with the two of us here, we got this game dedicated to Alabama, Missouri, and it's the Bama Players of the Game. So are you ready to break down your potential players of the game?
Yes, let's go.
Let's go right now. Let's go. So we're going to start this off here offensively, Matt. We know Steve Sarkisian is going to want to have balance. He's going to want to pass. He's going to want to throw the football, get the Tigers on their heels early. So many talented offensive players here for the Crimson Tide. But who is Matt's player of the game for Alabama offensively?
My player of the game for this game, I'm going with Najee Harris. I just think, he's been putting in the work in the offseason. I really think, he's going to run behind our offensive line. And I think, the game plan this first game, I think Sark and Coach Saban are kind of be a little vanilla, so to speak. I don't think they're going to have all the sprinkles and the toppings and all that stuff. I think they're going to try to save those type plays for, tougher opponents like Georgia and possibly Texas A&M on down the road. So I think the game plan is going to be, real vanilla, have some plays, not showing too much. And I think we're just going to, I think our offensive line is going to control the line of scrimmage and dominate. And I think Najee's going to have a big day as well as all the running backs. So I'm going with Najee Harris as my offensive player of the game.
Matt Caddell's got Najee Harris as his offensive player of the game. For me, give me Mac Jones. Mac Jones is my offensive player of the game. I think game one, Sarkisian and Coach Saban, as balanced as they want to be, and they do, I think they also want this to be Mac's coming out party, or the start of the coming out party, to show the world not only can he run this offense, but he can put in some pretty big numbers within this offense. I think Sark's going to have some plays that he's gone over with Mac to where Mac can air the ball out, get Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, John Mechie, and everybody else involved early. I think Mac wants to prove to the college football world, hey, I can sling the football. I can put points on the board. You saw me put up 40 against Arkansas last year. I put up 40-plus against Auburn last year. I am that guy that can run this offense. I think Mac Jones, to me, my player of the game offensively here for the Crimson Tide going up against Missouri. But flipping this from offense to defense, the side of the football to where Crimson Tide fans want to see big improvement. The last 2 years been kind of a struggle, had some injuries, things of that nature, players back healthy, you got continuity on the coaching staff. So my man, Money Matt, your defensive player of the game against those Mizzou Tigers.
This was a tough one, but I'm going to go with Dylan Moses. I think he's going to
be How tough was it really, man? Be real with me. How tough was this really?
It was really tough because, we have so many players. We got Christian Harris. We have Will Anderson.
Okay.
DJ Dale, Barmore, Blvd, Jordan Battle. There's so many. So I just went with, the head honcho, the main man, the alpha dog in the middle, Dylan Moses. I think he's going to be the player of the game to really get us lined up in situations, keep the defensive front prepared, give the signals to the secondary, be aggressive. And I think that's going to make our defense that much better. I think he's going to go out there and set the tone on a couple hits, maybe come up with some tackle for losses and really set an identity for our defense. So I'm going with Dylan Moses as my defensive player.
Dylan Moses setting that defensive tone as the man in the middle at Mike linebacker, according to my man Matt Caddell here. For me, defensive player of the game, and I talked about him in the first segment, I got to go DJ Dale here. I mean, defensive tackle, nose guard, to me, is probably the most important position, or one of the most important positions on defense, because at that nose guard spot, you got to play the most disciplined, the most fundamentally sound football. You got to hit your gap. You got to read your keys. You got to be able to take the center and the guard and throw them in the backfield to disrupt the timing of the play starting by the opposing offense. And it's that nose guard that really frees up the defensive ends, the outside linebackers, and the inside linebackers to fly around and make those plays. So for DJ Dale, year 2, first game of the season. How effective can he be stuffing the running back, the run game of Larry Roundtree, but most importantly, disrupting the entire timing of that Missouri offense coached by Elijah Drinkwitz, a disciple of Gus Malzahn? Want to see what DJ Dale does here in this matchup. He is my defensive player of the game, which throws us to an interesting wrinkle here. If you're just tuning in, folks, to the show, we got Matt Caddell on the phone line, former Alabama receiver from 2003 to 07. We're breaking down our potential players of the game for Alabama against Missouri on offense and defense. But now we go to our fun wrinkle here, our freshman of the game. Which freshman, which newcomer, which young blood will have his imprint on this matchup against Missouri? Matt, your freshman of the game.
For me, it's real simple. It's Will Anderson. He's one of the few freshmen that's starting. He's on that outside linebacker position. He's a pass rush sensation. I think he's going to really affect, the quarterback getting pressure. Our defensive tackle is going to get pressure up the middle, but I really think off the edge, him giving us a weapon on the end is going to really help us really have that identity on third down and really be able to get out the field on third down. Maybe we can draw some double teams in the future and really free up some other guys, put that pressure on the quarterback, have them, either throw early or get some tip passes where we get some turnovers. So I think right now my freshman of the game is Will Anderson.
You've got Will Anderson. Matt, I'm going to go with Malachi Moore. Going to go with Malachi Moore at the star position in nickel. He came in kind of overlooked, kind of underrated, but he put his head down, immediately went to work, made some big plays in camp, had a great camp, had 2 great scrimmages. I want to see him be able to not only create solid tackles in space, but can he get a couple of interceptions? Can he get a couple of picks? Because I remember, a lot of Alabama's huge marquee defensive backs, they have always made plays in games as freshmen, and Malachi Moore, the next one in line here. So I'm going to go with Mr. Moore out of Hewitt-Trussville High School now at the University of Alabama. But kind of the thoughts to wrap this up here, Matt, just to you, what's going to be the biggest key here in this game for Alabama if it wants to cover the 27-point spread? What's the biggest key of the game for the Tide?
Well, I think for me, the biggest key is obviously to dominate and play 60 minutes. I think the first string is really going to have to go out there and dominate and prove themselves. I think it's important for us, to get some other guys some experience. We have a lot of freshmen. We need to get some more depth at positions. And I think in order for us to do that, first string needs to go out there and dominate and really, control the game, control the clock, control the tempo of the game, and really get as much guys to play as possible. That way we can create depth because you never know what's going to happen. Some players with the coronavirus may be out or things like that. So, and I think it's important we get a win. I think it's important that we get a win on the road. I think that's going to help us on down the road. We get a win at Missouri. Young guys are familiar with the travel going on the SEC road to win. I think that's going to be effective. We play Texas A&M at home, and then after that, we got a tough one at Ole Miss. So I just think all those things are going to help. Us getting a road win, first SEC road win, is going to help our team on down the road. So I think dominating and getting other guys depth and getting that first road win is really going to help our team to get confident and play dominating football on the road in the SEC this year.
To me, the big thing is going to be communication, especially on defense, being able to communicate the calls across the board, making sure everybody knows what they're doing because, once again, Coach Drinkwitz of Missouri, a disciple of Gus Malzahn, he's going to throw a lot of eye candy. He's going to throw a lot of different formations. You got to have to be on your P's and Q's, understanding your gap, playing assignment football, being disciplined, and that all starts with the communication across the board. But he's Matt Caddell, former Alabama wide receiver, played from 2003 to 07, always joining us when he can on Wednesdays to break down the Crimson Tide as it prepares for Missouri this Saturday. Matt, as always, man, we appreciate the insight and what you do helping us out here. You be safe, man. Be good. Enjoy the game.
I will, man. I'm going to be decked out in my Alabama gear, and I want all the Alabama fans to give a roll tide, and let's get this win on Saturday.
Absolutely, man. You take care.
Thank you.
That's Matt Caddell, always joining us live here to talk Crimson Tide football, breaking down those Missouri Tigers. We go to another break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, because upon our return, we get back to the phone lines, taking your phone calls, your chats, your tweets, your texts, your concerns, and your super chats. Bring them on in here after this.
T-Town Menswear in the University Mall in Tuscaloosa.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
We're back into the number one source for Crimson Tide football news, notes, information, in my own words, with yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Every time I see that commercial from Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, I get a little fuzzy inside. Love those pound cakes. Appreciating, Emily, appreciating the company for joining Touchdown Alabama Magazine, being a full-time sponsor. You guys as fans making Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes feel at home. Really happy about that. And I'm also happy about we're back on you, Tide Nation, 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. We pick up another call right now, or we pick up a call right now. You're live within my own words. What's going on?
What's up, Stephen? How you doing? This is Sean from Huntsville.
My man, Sean, what's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. How you been? How you doing?
Man, I cannot complain here, man. We are 3 days from Bama, Missouri. I am excited. Coach Saban ready to get this thing going. Off to take care of those Tigers this weekend.
Most definitely, man. I wanted to call and chime in, say what's up to everybody in the chat, and get your perspective on this, because I hadn't really heard anything, and I wanted to know what you thought about this. Have you heard anything about how Joshua McMillan is doing? I hadn't really heard anything how he was doing, or is he? I saw the rotation where I think Christian is in front of him, but I wanted to get your insight, and have you heard anything about how Joshua was doing?
Josh McMillan is doing well. Like, Coach Saban really likes him out there, not just competing and producing on the field, but the leadership he provides, the knowledge he provides, especially helping with Dylan and helping with Christian Harris, Shane Lee, and the other guys. There will be a lot of packages where McMillan will be rotated in. Now, I know he was not listed as a starter, and people were kind of up in the air about that, but there are going to be quite a few packages that McMillan will play in, just due to how weird this year is with COVID and trying to, keep guys as healthy as possible. But you may have some guys that may not be able to play, and that will be a moment where McMillan can come in and show, what he can do. I know he's behind Christian Harris on that roster at the other, weak side backer position. But, McMillan, he's played well. He's doing well. He had a great camp. Has had, great game week practice. So he will be on the field. He will get on the field. He will play.
Okay, and one more thing. I know we got Missouri. Do you know what time the game is this week?
6 p.m. Central Time.
Okay, and is it on the SEC channel this time, or is it ESPN?
It's on ESPN.
Okay, good. I can't wait, man. I'm about ready to see us play. Respect everybody, man, but I want to see us play, man. I really appreciate you taking my call, and as always, we will continue to support.
Absolutely, Sean. You have a good one, my man.
Okay, brother. You too.
Always great to have Sean from Huntsville call in. We got some more super chats rolling through the pipeline, and we got to get that shout out to Jimmy Clay. Jimmy Clay doing. I think Jimmy Clay is trying to catch Jay Lee at some point. Jimmy Clay throwing in that $5 via the super chats. Appreciate that love there coming from Jimmy Clay. Also, Kevin Compton. Now this is the guy that's really gonna catch Jay Lee. Kevin Compton throwing in that $4.99. Via the super chats. Appreciate that love there coming from Kevin Compton. And Gucci Ty, $20 there coming from Gucci Ty. He's saying, y'all not doing it like I'm doing it. Gucci Ty throwing in that $20 here via the super chats, helping out the hottest show on the streets here. In my own words, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Definitely want to hear from you guys. Tide Nation 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be heard. Definitely want to hear from you. This is your show. The Crimson Tide is your team. How are you feeling when you discuss Bama football 3 days away from Todd, Missouri? 205-448-1358. We pick up another call here in the line. You're live on In My Own Words. What's going on?
Hey, Steven.
How we feeling?
Oh, pretty good, man. How are you?
Man, I cannot complain, man. We are 3 days away from Bama, so that's Trent Richardson, Calvin Ridley, and the greatest kicker of all time, Van Tiffin.
Yeah. This is Dwayne from Kentucky.
All right, Dwayne, what's on your mind right now, man?
I just wanted to ask you, do you think that maybe we should try to get 3 quarterbacks played? I'd really like to see Paul Tyson get some playing time. Maybe have a 2A and 2B. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I think now that comes down to how quickly does the first string go out there and dominate Missouri. If the first string goes out there, lays down the law, puts the hammer down, don't play around with them, then in the second half, I think Saban will go to having Bryce Young and Paul Tyson both out there on the field. Get Paul Tyson in some reps, get Bryce Young in some reps, get the confidence of both guys going early in the season. So that comes down to how quickly can the first string, the first team guys go out there, not play around with it, lay the hammer down. How quickly can they dominate off the bat?
Yeah, it would only benefit us down the line too, so
definitely. Yes.
Experience.
As much action as you can get Paul Tyson and Bryce Young in, that's only going to build their confidence, their mindset, their ability, their capability. It's only going to add some experience under their belt and get them to see, okay, I'm playing against the best of the best in the SEC. If I can handle it bit by bit, then if there's a moment where this team really needs me to come out there in a huge moment, they'll be able to handle it.
Right. I got time for one more quick question.
Go ahead.
On the numbers that the players have, do they just get those by availability, or is there a certain significance to what number a player is wearing?
Ooh, so jersey number question. Okay. For a lot of the players, they like to get the number they wore in high school. For some of them, of course, the significance of the jersey, a lot of great former players may have worn that jersey. For example, number 12 was worn by Joe Namath, Ken Stabler. A lot of great players wore number 12. So that comes with big significance. If you put that jersey on, you better be ready to produce with that jersey on. So for a lot of players, it is the significance of the guys that have come before them and representing that jersey in a first-class way, especially if you pick that number. But for most of the guys, they like to go with the number that they wore in high school. Okay, but it depends on the availability of that certain number, though, right? That's true also, because if somebody else offensively is wearing number 3, you may have one guy defensively to wear number 3, but it is done by the amount of numbers that are available. That's correct. Okay, well, that was a great answer, Stephen. I appreciate you taking my call, and hope you have a great evening. Absolutely, man. You keep listening to us. Thanks for the call. Oh, definitely. Appreciate that call. Bye. There coming from Dwayne out of Kentucky there, sharing some love here on In My Own Words. Quick little topic here. If Nick Saban had a Mount Rushmore for his recruiting classes, The 2017 class has got to be on there. I know the 2009 class the 2008 class was his first class, and that class very near and dear to his heart. That was the class that got the ball rolling. But that 2017 class has got to be on that Mount Rushmore because offensively, that's the most talented class Coach Saban brought in when you look at Tua Tagovailoa, Najee Harris, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, Alex Leatherwood, and Jedrick Wills. But as great as it was offensively, defensively, if you look at who are the leaders at every level of this year's defense, it is somebody from the 2017 class. On the defensive line, it's LeBron Ray and Fidarian Mathis. At the linebacker positions, it's Dylan Moses, Christopher Allen. In the secondary, it's Daniel Wright. Somebody from that 2017 class is anchoring each level of the defense. That tells you how special that class was, how talented that class was, how gifted that class was. And after watching the offensive players come off the bench and win the national championship for that class in 2017, here are the defensive players saying, hey, now it's our time defensively to help this group win a national championship. So looking forward to seeing the defensive version of this 2017 class get the job done. But we take another break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, there's an interesting battle at nose guard going on behind DJ Dale. Who's in the battle? Who wins out? We'll talk about it after this.
If you're an avid Alabama Crimson Tide fan and you love to flaunt it, then show your Alabama Crimson Tide support by grabbing the All-Bama sneakers. They feature bold Crimson Tide graphics, so no one will be able to question where your allegiance lies. When you add these sweet sneakers to your Alabama Crimson Tide collection, go to stsfootwear.com and use the code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. That's code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. Go to stsfootwear.com and get your All-Bama sneakers today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
We are back in, folks, from the break here on a Wednesday, hump day, hottest show on the streets. Number one forum for Crimson Tide football news, in my own words, with yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. If you haven't done so already, be sure to give a thumbs up, give a like on the show, hit that subscribe button, and turn all of those notifications on so that way you can have the best in news, notes, information, and coverage on your Tide football program. Another super chat to shout out. How about Spencer Reveley? One of our faithful listeners, Spencer Reveley, dropping in that $10 via the super chats, helping us out here at TDA. We appreciate Spencer very much there. And as always, Tide Nation, once again, you are a die-hard Alabama football fan, right? You love it, you breathe it, you sleep it, you go to church in it, you go grocery shopping with it. You got to check out TDAwear.com. That is TDAwear.com, where we have so much apparel here for you. We have the Let Them Play shirts, the We Want Football shirts, we have hoodies for you. So do your shopping right here. TDAwear.com, where you can show your support to Coach Saban, the Alabama football program, the student athletes, and us as well here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine. So be sure to go to TDAwear.com. Another super chat. We got to shout out Kevin Compton again for the banger. Kevin Compton doing that $4.99, donating that $4.99 via the super chats. Appreciate that. They're coming from Kevin Compton. But final conversation on today's show. There were a lot of things that we saw on Monday from the depth chart released by Nick Saban. Some things surprised us, some things did not, but one of the other surprises that I saw is we take you to the defensive tackle position. DJ Dale's the starter, but behind him, we got an interesting little battle brewing between two big men, and that's Ishmael Sopsher and Tim Smith. We got a battle going here, folks. Ishmael Sopsher and Tim Smith. Now, Nick Saban has an or between the two, which means the battle is still going on. The competition is still going on. Nobody has won out just yet. Both young men will play. Both guys will play. But who wins out at nose guard behind DJ Dale when it comes to Ishmael Sopsher and Tim Smith? So starting this off of Sopsher, she came in the 2019 class, 4-star from MI High School in Louisiana. MI is about an hour northwest, if my social studies serves me correctly. Cardinal directions here. I think he's about an hour and a half northwest of Baton Rouge, MI is. So that's where Ishmael Sopsher is from. Had a great high school career. If you remember the 2018 matchup between Alabama and LSU in Baton Rouge, Sopsher wanted to walk on the field with Ed Ogeron, but instead, Talia Tungavailoa walked on the field with Coach O, and that did not rub Sopsher the right way. I remember a source called me after that game was over, and he was like, Steven, Ish ain't happy. Ish and his mama coming to Alabama. They ain't happy, man. Coach O did them wrong with that one. So Sopsher at Alabama came in 2019. He was a bit overweight when he came in, 334 pounds. He's dropped 24 pounds. He's 310. 6'4", 310, moving. Grown man moving. I'm talking about quick feet, quick power, quick hands, good core. He is moving, folks. I mean, he is moving. Ishmael Sopsher is ready to play. He is ready to come in hot and do his thing on the field. But just as good as Sopsher is, big Tim Smith. And what's crazy, as much as Will Anderson, Drew Sanders, Jamil Burrows, Jamarian Latham, and guys like Brian Branch, the conversation that those guys drew coming in, Tim Smith drew the same conversation. I remember, talking to one of my guys, Brent Baird, who works for First Coast News down in Jacksonville, Florida, part of the ABC, NBC network, and he talked about as dynamic as Quinnen Williams was in 2018, Tim Smith has that type of burst, that type of quickness, that type of get-off. And when I watched his tape coming out of Sebastian River High School in Florida, I mean, you saw it. The ability to knife his way into the backfield, nail the running back, sack the quarterback, create so many so many fumbles, and recover, a few of those as well. And Tim Smith came in at 6'4", 340 pounds. He's dropped 20 pounds, so he's now 6'4", 320. He can move. He's big. He's athletic. He can create plays. So you've got two really massive men, two really big dudes here. Which one wins out? Both will play. Both will play behind DJ Dale. But which one of these two wins out? Because I'll be honest with y'all, man. I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with y'all, man. This is painful for me. This is painful for me making this choice because I like both guys. I mean, I was very high on Sopsher. When he came in here, I was high on Ishmael Sopsher. And I still think with Freddie Roach in here, Coach Roach has been on Sopsher. He's taken the coaching. He's developing well. He's dropped that weight. He's showing he wants to be on the field. He wants to play winning football. He wants to play big-time ball. I really like Ish. But at the same time, Tim Smith has that kind of ability to do what Quinnen Williams did in terms of him being a slippery, evasive, quick guy, great hands, great feet, can slip in that backfield and create some mama there go that trouble. Tim Smith can slip back there and create some serious trouble. So who wins this job here between Smith and Sopsher behind DJ Dale remains to be seen. Both guys had a great camp. Both guys have been strong in practice this week. And, for Tim Smith, once again, to not have a spring, Coach Saban fighting for that preseason practice program, the voluntary workouts, and then, for Smith to come out in fall camp and play as hard as he played as effectively as he played, and then to have, two really good scrimmages for him to fight his way into the conversation. I know he's not listed as a starter. Malachi Moore, Will Anderson, both listed as starters. But for Tim Smith to fight his way to be a shot at being number 2 at nose guard behind DJ Dale, still a pretty big deal there. So going to be interesting to see who wins out at nose guard behind Dale when you discuss Sopsher and Tim Smith. But, folks, you want the best in news, notes, information, and coverage on your Crimson Tide. It's very simple, easy to get this. You access the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download this from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you've got the Android phone. For your audio listening needs, we got you right here. iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Overcast.fm, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio. We got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Friday continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Jimmy Clay has done it. Jimmy Clay has done it, put in $50 to become the newest member of the Blue Wrench Gang. Jimmy Clay doing that huge donation there for Touchdown Alabama magazine. Shout out there to Jimmy Clay showing us that love right there. As always, Bama fans, don't forget, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those sent to your door. Link will be found in the description. But until next time, folks, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, school in session, but still do those things legitimately to not be bored. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself, protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, it's been in my own words.